Hey everybody. Hi, good morning everyone. My name is Mary Manzano and welcome to the Weekend Habit, hashtag Guru Chat. And today I am joined by Liza Requiso and Rizza Piccio. I think Alfonso is not going to be able to join us today. I hope he'll be able to catch up later on. So here goes. I'm going to just push Liza onto the stream. Just give me a second here. There you go. Hi, Lisa. How are you doing?
Good morning, everybody. So nice to see you. Happy weekend.
Happy weekend. I know. It's so fast. Like, I didn't even, I know that I did some training this week and it's a busy week, but it just flew by. It was kind of, it was actually quite surprising for me to wake up in the morning today and realize, oh my goodness, it's a Saturday.
Yeah, it is. It really goes by so fast.
Yeah, I know. We get old so quickly. It's Christmas again. Oh no, for our friends in the States, it's gonna be a Thanksgiving weekend next weekend. So it will be a long
Absolutely.
weekend. But I don't know if that matters anymore these days, considering.
They still have their online sales, like their Black
Yeah, Black
Friday.
Friday. I know. I'm so
Yeah.
excited about Black Friday. I know that I'm here in the Philippines, but I still kind of watch out for Black Friday sales in Amazon.
Yeah.
And there's an easy way to get some stuff anyway from the States going over to the Philippines. But
Mhm.
whenever I'm hunting for, say, a new Chromebook or, something like a new gadget, like that
Right.
Logitech thing, I was going to buy it, but then COVID struck. You know
Mm.
that the what do you call that thing? That remote when you're presenting?
Oh, yes, yes,
Um,
yes, yes.
yeah, so
Yeah.
Logitech
To
has
move the
one
slides, right?
to move the slides, and they have that zooming feature, and I really wanted
Mm.
it because it was recommended by TED Talk. So
Oh,
I was thinking, okay, for my keynotes or my workshops for this year, I'm totally gonna use that one, and I was going to buy it from Amazon, and then I just didn't because COVID. Yay! So we've got Mel as well on the YouTube channel. So
hi,
Mel,
Mel.
hello, Mel. Hope I can learn something today. Summer, I have heard things, but I forget about it. So we're just going to remind you today. It's still a Friday night in the West. So, yes, not a weekend. Well, for me, Friday is almost there. You're
Yep.
almost there, Mel. Thank God it's Friday there. And yes, I'm just going to wait for. Oh, Riza is already here. Hi, Riza. Hello.
Rizza.
Hi, good morning. Happy weekend.
Morning.
Happy weekend. Yes.
Happy Saturday
Happy
here. Happy
weekend.
Friday to our friends on the other side of the world.
Yes.
Yes. Hello, Fons. How are you
Hey,
doing?
Fawn.
I miss
Hi,
you.
Fawn.
Yay. So I just hope that Fons, maybe in the future we can get you back in here in the weekend habit.
This is fun.
Looking
This is
forward.
actually Fonz's. This is Fonz's episode, actually,
Is it?
right?
Yeah,
Because no,
actually,
because he's like
yes.
an edtech coach.
Yes.
Yes. You know what? Once if you change your mind about it's not too
Joining?
late. It's not too late.
Yes.
If you want to join, you ping me on the chat and you let me know, and I
Fix
will.
your hair, fix your hair, Fonz, and let's go.
Oh my goodness, fix your hair. Okay, so
Yeah.
let's. I'm trying to look for fonts here. There you go. Here goes font. So I just sent you the link to the stream on Twitter. In case you want to join, you're definitely welcome.
Most
Right.
definitely.
So yay, fonts. There you go. So I really love that we've got some of our friends over watching as well. And for all of you there on Facebook, we are live on Facebook, on YouTube, as well as on Twitter today. So thank you so much for joining us on the Weekend Habit, hashtag Guru Chat. For those people who are on Twitter, just don't forget to use our hashtag Guro chat. Guro means teacher in Filipino. So for those of
Yes,
you
in
who
Filipino.
don't know, there in
Mm.
Filipino,
Mel is asking, Mary, is there a YouTube link
to
to
She
our
yeah, actually
topic
discovered it.
today?
she discovered it. She's
Oh,
on
okay.
YouTube right
Yes,
now.
yes.
Yes,
She
she
actually
discovered
posted
it.
already.
Yes. Thank you so much for asking. There you go.
Hi,
Uh,
Mel.
no fun to say I'm turning on the computer. We've got our first question up, I think, or not yet. Oh, it's 9:37, so not yet. But let's take a look at this. We have we are missing teacher Forest, but hopefully next week he'll be able to join us. So use the hashtag GuruChat, and we're going to be using Q1A1 for today. Next is this is our SAMR. Okay, so for the benefit of those who have not yet touched on SAMR, you are probably already using it. Most likely, you are using it right now and do not realize what the terms are. But this is it. So, SAMR is a model for technology integration. Okay, so what happens is we go through this ladder going up. However, there are times when we can actually go to different parts of these and choose certain levels based on our lessons. Okay, so the SAMR model stands for substitution, augmentation, modification, and redefinition. So as we move along the ladder, we start gaining more and more confidence in using technology, and when that happens, we are able to redefine our lessons in a in a better way. So let's take a look at that, and let's see how we can level up. Oh my goodness, we have Quans now on the stream. There you go. Hey
Yay!
Quans! Yay!
Hi, everybody. How's it
That
going?
was quick.
That
Yeah.
was very
So
quick. I know.
awesome. Thank you
he's
for
got his,
joining us.
Oh,
he's
you're
got his
welcome.
hair all made up before we even pinged him.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm always I always have to be ready to go.
You're
Yes,
like me.
that's
I'm
true.
always made up. Like people just tell me, Mary, are you ready to jump on a call with us? And I go, yeah. And then as soon as I jump in, they go like, you're made up. And I'm like, yeah,
Yeah, like, hey, you always
First.
got to be ready to go.
yes. Alrighty. So let's take a look at our first question is coming up. But right now, my introductory question is, what are you thankful for today? Um, So, you guys, what are you thankful for today?
I'm thankful for my good health and for my
Yeah, me too.
mental wellness. I'm so thankful for that. I mean, work is not eating me up yet. So
Not
I'm good.
yet.
Not
Yes,
yet.
not yet. And I make sure I don't go to that stage now because it's hard. It's hard
Yeah.
when things get so overwhelming and you don't
Mhm.
know where to start already, or you don't know how to attack certain things or problems or issues or conflicts. So I'm grateful that I still can smile. I'm healthy, even though I cannot go out because it's still lockdown and quarantine here in Manila. So
Mhm.
that's it for me.
Yeah. Well, for me, I'm thankful again for my health. I'm every single time that I do that test and I realize I'm negative, I'm so happy. Like negative is the way to go these days. And I'm again same as Liza and Riza. I'm thankful for my mental wellness as well. Thankful for the ability to still smile and go through things with a very positive outlook, right?
Yes.
But I think for this week, though, specifically, I'm thankful for certain opportunities that have come by. So I'm thankful for that, and also for I'm wrapping up my 2021 plans because it's already November.
Really?
Yeah, I'm wrapping up my annual plan for 2021. Almost done. So thankful for that and for some of the insight that I've been getting from my colleagues and my entrepreneur friends. Yes. How about you guys? Once.
Well, I'm just thankful. I'm off for a week for Thanksgiving,
Yay.
so I'm just
Yay!
thankful
Happy
for.
Thanksgiving.
Thank you. So I'm just very, very thankful, just again, for just overall health here in our families. And I know it's trying times, and but you always have to wake up every day and just find something to be thankful for, because there's so much to be thankful for. And especially if you're teaching, sometimes it could be very tough, with the situation, but we're always got to look out for those little gems that are going to make us smile and just get us through the day. And that's what I'm thankful for, just for those little gems, that little bucket fillers, I call them, that really make your day.
Yeah,
Agreed.
that's true. That's true. You know, we always have to. My niece was telling me, Tita, you have to. Tita is auntie in
Mhm.
Filipino. Tita, you have to just install TikTok so that you can get a few laughs at night. She's been trying to get me onto the platform, and I've been refusing. Hi, Pilar. Pilar is here. Yay.
Hey, Pilar.
Um,
Hi,
so Pilar
Pilar.
said, I thought it was in an hour. I think it's because of DST,
Yeah.
it just changed over. So, yeah,
Yes.
you're going to have to make a little bit of an adjustment there. Now we have, ooh, Mel said, I got a delivery today from Australia. A surprise Christmas present from a family friend. Yeah, that's surprises are
Hope it's a
always.
care package.
Yeah,
Like
I
a lot
know.
of stuff in it. Yeah.
That's right. I like that the blue lights always have big ones. You should get
Yeah.
those lights where they change like once in a while, like in rainbow colors. So you feel
Yeah.
like you're in a it's trans trans party.
Rave. A
In a
rave.
rave. Oh my goodness, raves. Long time. There you go. So let me just check out. Lisa, I haven't heard your answer yet on thankfulness. You-
Well, as much as I complain about how hard it is to teach online, I'm thankful I have a job. So
Yes.
many people don't have
People.
a job, and no matter how hard it is,
Mhm.
and at the end of the day, I feel very drained teaching online. It's a
Mhm.
whole other ball game compared to teaching in front of a class.
Face to face.
But no matter how hard it is, I'm still very thankful that, and as well as teaching overseas with my family, we're still
Mhm.
together, even if we're locked down at home. I mean, we've chosen to lock down ourselves at home. But,
Mm.
like, I'm still thankful that we still have an opportunity to earn and help other people. So, yeah,
Yeah.
That is
I'm
true. That
thankful
is
for that.
true. I'm actually kind of happy also that you still have, again, jobs are so difficult to come by these days. We've had cases where people have really lost their livelihood and all of that.
Yep.
So yeah, that's true. I'm really thankful also for some of the people who were able to help, especially during the typhoon. So there was a recent typhoon here in the Philippines, and this
Oh,
typhoon
yeah.
really decimated some areas of the metro, and the flooding was up to the rooftops for some places. So
Yes.
thankful for all of those people who have been helping. We are running a small fundraising thing on in my art gallery as well, and so thankful for all of those who were able to support that. So yeah, so there, I'm so happy to see some faces as well, some people as well in the Twitter chat, like Phil Saraspe is there at the moment. Good morning,
Hi,
Hey,
Phil.
Phil. Good
Phil.
morning.
Yeah, so I'll just send him the YouTube channel as well. Okay, so our Q1 is actually up. It's been up for about 6 minutes now. So let's take a look at. So with the move to ODL and hybrid, describe your relationship with technology right now.
Well,
It's
Comfortable.
it's gotta be
yeah.
pure love. It's gotta be pure love now. I think that
Yes.
from from March up until now, and then just with using it daily, it's that comfort level is there where, and it's such a great topic that you picked today because now I know I think Mel earlier was saying like I'm not sure exactly what the SAMR model is, but it really is something that we're doing, but you just may not know it's called the SAMR model. And so I think
Yes.
as the teachers get more comfortable with it and with the tech, and so it's just I think now it's that love relationship. We kind of went through those stages like in a relationship where it's like okay, everything's going to be fine, and then you see the little glitches, and then it's like wait a minute, I don't understand, I thought this was supposed to work, and then now it works, and then it kind of breaks down, and then all of a sudden now you're like hey, now I can do this and I can take it to another level. And so slowly the teachers are definitely feeling more comfortable, which is going to be interesting, post pandemic, what to expect, as far as technology in the classrooms, and hopefully something that'll still keep on going and not just kind of be put away until we're ready to flip the switch again on another lockdown or something like that. But I think that it's getting relatively better. We're with the tech, there's always going to be little hiccups, but overall I think it's the comfort level is there now.
Yeah, I love that. I really do. I feel like I'm a student again. This pandemic has supercharged so much in the technology space. We found that so many people who were reluctant to jump into using tech, well, one, they don't have a choice, and now they find that they're actually enjoying it and finding more and more things to help them out. And I really like that technology companies have been up to the task of improving on their services as well, improving on the products and the applications that they've been serving to the education space. And this has also given so much opportunity to students as well as teachers to become creators. um,
Yes.
I've seen so many more teachers creating, even making new applications that have been created by teachers for teachers. Those are kind of an eye opener this for this whole pandemic. Yeah. So for me, my relationship with technology has always been I've always been a staunch supporter of technology in the classroom. It's just that this time is the time to shine, I guess. And so, for those of you who actually like technology in the classroom and you've been kind of persecuted a little bit, this is actually your time to shine and to help your co teachers to adjust. So, yeah. Yeah. How about you, Riza? Riza, I know, has been using technology as well, and Liza, both of you have been
Yes.
using technology for a long time and have been supporting it in your schools as well.
Yes. So I've never been afraid of using technology in class. So I think I'm BFF with it. So that's my level of technology. So I was really never afraid to use it because I saw how it helped, how the teachers in the Western countries are using it. And I want to replicate it in my class. I wanted to do what they're doing in class and see if it's going to work as well. And so that's why when CISO came out 2016, 2017, I started it right away with my second grade and third graders. And up till now, they're still familiar with it. So the second graders that I first used it with, they're now my fifth graders. And they would still tell me, "Oh, I remember this. Remember in grade two, you posted this video of us, and then our parents showed it to us." So something like that. So it's more of really connecting and documenting learning experiences of my students. So that's where I use technology to really document their progress at the beginning of the school year. And then at the end of each term, I would always ask them, okay, look back on the first video that you've recorded and see how you've progressed. So that's my level of technology use.
That's nice. I really love that. I just posted it on Twitter as well because I think that should be That should be put in there forever. Be BFF with technology, BFF level. I really love that. I'm totally going to steal that, Riza.
Yes. Yes. Go ahead. I think everyone is learning how to right now. They have no choice. I mean, the pandemic forced them to be friends with technology. And so I
Yep.
hope this situation, after we go through with it, after everything not going back to normal, but after that we're allowed to go back face to face, I hope they will not stop using technology.
Mhm. That's right. I have my there. I saw Lisa's answer in Twitter. Comfortable enough to work independently. I
And
really like that.
comfortable actually to help other people. Like I feel
Hmm.
confident when they
Yes.
ask me a question. And I also feel
Hmm.
confident when I don't know the answer. Oh, sorry, I don't know. Let me
Hmm.
find out for you.
Yeah.
So,
Mm.
Yeah.
I'm on that level already. But if you ask me about proxy and no, I cannot. But I mean, not too technical, but if it's like everyday use or in and out of apps or tech, in terms of classroom use, then I feel comfortable sharing my
Hmm.
experience or sharing what I know. So exactly what Juan said, you're at that level wherein because you use it every day,
Yeah.
you
Yes.
get to be comfortable using it. And
Hmm.
I also feel the same way, like what after the pandemic, how are teachers going to move forward with their
Mhm.
journey with tech in the classroom.
Hmm.
So I'm
Yeah.
excited to see
That.
that.
I like two things that I just wanted to highlight, like that Riza and Lisa said. Like Riza is saying, with the use of Seesaw is that communication. But what I loved is that you're documenting that learning through these apps
Yes,
that before,
Yes.
think about it, we were documenting where if a child created, like, let's say their little turkey with the hands, and then you put it on a bulletin board, or they
right,
just drew their little pilgrim activity and they had their little hat. But now you can
right.
videotape the child. They can use an iPad. They can use technology to create, and now they're
Yes.
becoming
Yes,
those creators. So that's one of the things that I love that Riza said. And then for you, Lisa, what I loved is that you said that comfort level where now you feel comfortable enough to go help other teachers, and so now
yes.
you're empowered, and now you're
Oh,
taking
indeed.
that role of, hey, it's okay, I know you're stuck, let me help you. And then if
Right.
something comes up, you're like, well, you know what, I don't know that yet, but maybe I
Yeah.
can find out for you, or we can learn this together. And I think
Right.
those are some of the things that need to be emphasized and highlighted through at this moment in time. What we're seeing is something that is definitely fits into the SAMR model, where we're substituting, we're growing, we're augmenting, we're redefining, and
Yes.
then there's going to be a redefinition in education. And but I loved those two examples. They really resonated with me.
Mm.
Yep.
I like that. I
Totally
really like
agree.
that. One of the things that Lisa said a while ago that's extremely important at the moment is when you said you're comfortable enough to say you don't know. I really like that because
Mm.
um, so many teachers, especially in traditional models of teaching, are not comfortable saying that. And I really think that in this day and age, we really have to be comfortable enough to say we don't know because there's just so many things that we don't know. We have to have that open
Yes.
mindedness, all the time and model that for our students so that our students are also not afraid to make mistakes and not afraid to say they don't know and be open enough to learn more. Okay. So our Q2 is there and it says it's important to take stock of where we are at. Where are you most often in the summer ladder? More often than not,
Mine,
where do you find yourself? Because we find ourselves in the different parts of the summer model, right? So sometimes
Yes.
we are in substitution, sometimes we may already be in redefinition. Where do you often find
Yes.
yourself most often in?
mine is
Well,
SNA.
Mm.
Substitution,
Yes.
augmentation. If it's the everyday
Mm-hmm.
teaching
Yes.
of online learning, it's substitution and augmentation for me every
Yes.
day.
Right.
But
Right.
if I am able to, let's say, it's a lot more, like we are a bit farther in the unit, we have
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
progressed, and I have already given them the skills. So, like what Rizza had said about technological fluency.
Yes.
So, if I've already provided that scaffold for them, then definitely I
Mm-hmm.
can move on to
True.
modification and definition.
Right.
But every day, I'm not going to,
Do the
pretend
yeah.
that I do
Yes.
MNR every day. It's
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
substitution and augmentation for me.
Mm-hmm.
yes.
Yeah, Pilar is the same actually. Pilar said
Yes.
most often augmentation stage and definitely substitution. And there's again absolutely nothing wrong with that. Like some people are telling me, "Oh, I'm
Yes.
just in substitution." Don't say you are just in, because substitution has so many uses because it replaces a lot of the traditional activities that you have, and it's always a jump off point. You know, you start somewhere.
Yes.
For those people who kind of are wondering, am I in substitution? Where am I right now? So currently, substitution is, when you want to keep things simple. For example, you just want to scan your lessons or you want to scan your worksheets and convert them into
Yes.
PDFs and then post them on your class site or just send them over in students' emails. That is substitution right there. So if you're already doing that, then you're on the first step of the SAMR model. So if you're holding class meetings, for example, via your Google Meets
Google
or
Meet,
your Microsoft
Zoom.
Team and your Zoom, right? So providing that sort of lecture and providing a recording of that, it's still substitution because it's
Yep.
Yes.
still substituting something that you used to do face to face with technology, but not really augmenting it at the moment. Now, when you start adding more
Mm-hmm.
things to it, that's when it becomes really exciting and interesting. That's
Yes.
actually the exciting part for me is looking at something that I substituted. You always start somewhere, you substitute, and then, hey,
Yes.
what else can I do with this? That's
Yes.
that's always the goal there. So
That's true.
how
Okay.
about
So
you,
with me,
Alphonse and Grace? Yes.
um, with me, similar to Lisa, at the beginning of the unit, substitution, augmentation, and then as we progress towards the end of the unit, the students now modify or redefine their tasks. So when they're in their performance task level, so that's when they
Mm-hmm.
modify and create their own video content showing the skills and concepts that we've been learning in class. So definitely, you go through all the phase of the summer. Like all my students, they go through that. If it's not possible, like right now in remote learning, it's really difficult and challenging, but we do our part just to make sure that they still have what we think would be best and meaningful for them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I like that going through
Yeah.
all the levels. Fonts.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, right now, I think most of the teachers are really, and because this is all new to them, maybe like for us, it may be a little bit new or it's really causing us to push forward a little bit more. But I think for most of the teachers now, like we were talking about what the comfort level and what you ladies are sharing, I think for the most part, everybody's in that SAM model. They haven't quite hit that redefinition just yet. That's going to come with a little bit more practice, but they're essentially they're gonna get there. And with like you were talking about, what's the simple substitution, and then you're adding, you're sending the PDFs, but now let's gamify the classroom with Kahoots and doing flip grids and things of that sort.
Yes.
And then you're doing the modifications also, as well as they continue to move forward. I think that a lot of the teachers now are kind of, without even knowing, are learning this process. And what I love is, just kind of making it fun and gamifying, because when teachers do a lot of the app smashing, where they're mixing so many platforms together. I mean, they're going through the SAMR model without them really knowing that it's if
Yes.
it's called the SAMR model, because everything that you ladies have described, I mean, you have to go through those steps to set up those
Yes.
lessons, from something so simple, then the augmentation through a different platform, and then the modification again in the delivery process, or what you expect from the students as well, has been something now that the technology has redefined. Rather than having them just turn in a digital book report, now they're doing either a screencastify or creating a video or doing a voiceover in that sense. And now they're submitting this learning artifact, which goes back to what Riza was saying. You have these learning artifacts now that are taking place,
Yes.
and you're seeing
Yes.
product. And that's what I love, that the end result, I think, should always be products that are produced by our students. No more consumers. We can feed them and feed them and feed them, but eventually, think about this: when you feed somebody, like I just ate dinner, I mean, if I could have kept going, but you feed me, I'm going to continue growing. But what am I going to be producing? And I want those students, and I want those teachers to feel comfortable to kind of let go a little bit, and put
Yep.
these tasks and put these platforms in front of their students and say, what can you create using this? Like, let me see. And then you can really dive into their learning process, how they learn, how they think, and what they can do for you. And I think that right there, you're moving already into that redefinition in such a natural way. So,
Mm-hmm.
like I said, this is really exciting for me.
Yeah, me too. I really love that. That's why I really like working with teachers at the base level as
Mhm.
well, because it leaves me with that excitement because of the aha moments that you see in their faces, like something so
Yes.
simple for us that have been using technology for a long time could be something so game changing for these teachers. Even sometimes when I'm just demonstrating something that I've been using for so long, like voice typing, and I've been
Mm.
voice typing for a long, long time because I like to speak instead of type. So I and I demonstrate that, and they go like, "Oh my god, what is that?" They get that aha moments, and they start using this and then are adding more. Let me check out my Q3 right now. So here, think of a classroom activity that you do often. How can you improve on it? So, like what we were talking about earlier, we start somewhere and then we start looking at maybe more improvements on that activity. So
Yes.
let's take a moment to think of a classroom activity that we do and how we can improve on it. Let us see some while you guys are thinking. Let me just review the
Yes.
comment in a
Phil
moment.
actually commented he's stuck in substitution during synchronous classes, but during asynchronous tasks, the students are in modification and redefinition level. So
Yeah,
similar to us.
that's right. When assigning asynchronous tasks to the students. Oh yeah, I saw that. I like like Lara said, substitution on the everyday basis, augmentation when you use it purposefully to make learning
To make
better.
learning better. Yes.
Reflection flip grids. Riza, I think, of course,
Yes.
Mel is talking about Riza because Riza is the flip grid. Flip grid, you have the flip grid fever, or an
Yeah.
example of
Yes.
augmentation. Yeah,
Yeah.
Mel is saying, I need to read what is augmentation
What
again.
is augmentation again? I was trying to look at that photo, Mary. You posted it a while ago. The level.
Yeah, so basically, when you look at augmentation, it's just incorporating a little bit of digital enhancement with whatever you're using. So if you are currently, say, PDFing your worksheets and then sending it out to your students, adding something like hyperlinks or some multimedia or some commenting on your Google Docs already makes it augmentation. So basically, you're not really changing the content, but you're just adding a little bit more digital features to it to enhance the lesson. So that's augmentation for you. Okay, let's think about this. How can you improve on a classroom activity? Let me see what's happening in on Twitter as well.
For me, I
I think
Is it?
have class discussions. I don't,
Yes.
I wouldn't, like before, I wouldn't, we'll just have a discussion. I just ask a question,
Mhm.
we'll have a discussion, and then move on to the activity of the day. But now
Yeah.
I am a lot more mindful of documenting that through Google Jamboard because
Mm-hmm.
I have
Mm-hmm.
first graders. So
Mm-hmm.
as much as I want them to input what they think or type in what they think, I prefer
Mm-hmm.
to record that and actually show it to them. So while they're
Yes.
Yeah.
speaking, I'm actually, oh, okay, is this what you're trying to say? So I'm documenting that
Mm-hmm.
for them. And then we
Mm-hmm.
always revisit that frame or that slide.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So unlike before, now every time we have a discussion, now I always use Jamboard as the anchor.
Yeah.
So it's not
Um.
ideal,
Mm-hmm.
but for me, that's one way I have used technology to improve on how I do class discussions with my first graders.
That's actually quite
Yes.
interesting, because sparking class discussions sometimes can be difficult, with kids not talking, and
Hmm.
and I experienced this. I teach teachers, and teachers don't
Yeah,
talk. When
yeah.
teachers don't talk, I get like, really so frustrated. So what I've done recently was just creating a chat back channel, because apparently, like most people like to chat more than talk, and so every time I have a presentation, I always tell them, guys, for the presentation, I always make sure that I turn on the Q&A feature in slides, because the Q&A features in slides, they allow your participants to just ask these questions, and knowing that
Mm-hmm.
you can flash those questions on the screen as well is something that kind of surprises them, especially when they don't know about that feature yet, and it
Yes.
sparks them to ask more questions. And I find actually that the Q&A portion there in Google Slides, for me, is a better um, a better tool for sparking that discussion, rather than just asking it like, guys, what do you think?
Yeah.
And another thing for Google Docs, on the other hand, I just tell them, that find me link at the top of a Google Docs or sheet or slide, that list of people that are currently viewing it. We call it the find me
Yes.
link, because if you want to find a person, just click on their picture and you'll be able to find where they are. So
Mm.
the Find Me link has a chat there. So for those people who don't know, there's a little chat button right there
Oh,
beside the Find Me link. And that is an informal chat. Okay. It doesn't have a history, it will not save it. So it's really just for pure back channel chatting. And I find that that can be really noisy. That can be so alive, and that's something that it's so important right now in COVID and in ODL. It's
yeah,
so hard to make those connections, right?
yeah. No, and I
agree.
agree
That's
with you on
true.
that. Yeah, connections is very important, and I like what Lisa was saying. Having those conversations and sparking that. It's that classroom environment had to have been established right from the get-go. And once we go in there and we just started teaching just the way we would in a classroom, sometimes there isn't enough time for that community, obviously, with the way that things kind of switched. And then teachers feeling the pressure, well, what am I going to do now that I got to teach twice as fast, or I got to assign twice as much because I need to make sure I get through curriculum and so on. And they lose out on those connections, and it's very
Mhm.
important, and even that being part of the SAMR model is just like simply taking that time to, establish that environment. And with that, I think you're definitely going working into augmentation, because you're in that way, even with just sparking class discussions, but building that empathy and building that community, it definitely is something that is important. And even though it may not be highly tech, but you're doing it through tech. So
Uh,
it's still very important to establish that. And so communication, definitely, I agree with you, Mary. That's really awesome. And thanks for those tips too, because I know there's definitely a lot of teachers there that didn't know about those tips.
Yes,
Yes.
yeah. Just so weird,
agree.
like chatting. So many people like really chat nowadays.
Mm.
It's a change in the world, I think. So let me move to the next question now. A higher level in the hierarchy is not always applicable, as we've been discussing this. And for people who go to the SAMR model for the very first time or read about it the first time, they always go like, "Oh my goodness, how do I do this? How do I go to the highest level of the hierarchy?" It's not always applicable. So just make sure that um, I think my question is wrong. What is one time? It's supposed to be what is one time where you opted for substitution and augmentation in your lesson? So I think we've been discussing this though,
Yeah.
quite
Yes.
extensively so
I,
far.
I think
And yeah, go ahead.
oh, I'm sorry. I was just gonna say there, like on question 4, like, it says, um, the higher level is not always applicable. I think it's just like with any recommendation, also is just take it easy, go keep it simple, And I
Yes,
know that we
Yes.
have some teachers that are overachievers and they want to try new things, and it's great that you want to try new things, and but that's all part of the learning process as well. But I think one thing that has always stuck with me, and I believe I hope I'm quoting her right, because I believe it was from Monica Burns, and she always said, "Task before
that's
app."
it for apps.
So
Yes,
I always stick to that, and I always let teachers know, it's the tool is not the end product. The tool is a way to get you to that end product, but it's
Yes.
not always going to be applicable. You're not always going to hit that, you know, you can shoot for the moon and you'll still land on the stars, but don't think that you're going to be making it to the moon maybe that first time around. But just think of what it is that you're doing, and is it really
Yep.
applicable to go all the way through with something that may in the end just cause a little bit more confusion or trouble, or just get something that is solid, concrete, and then you have a wonderful evidence of learning that you can actually record and see, the learning that took place, and get feedback and give that feedback. So I think
Mm.
those are just some things to consider there, that don't always just try and just go for it. Take it in stride, and eventually, as you build up that confidence, like we've been talking, and I think that's been a theme that we've been seeing in every question. It's just simply you're building up those skills, getting that comfort level, and eventually you will get to that redefinition stage where, I mean, it's just going to be like mind blowing for everybody, and it's going to be a great
Hmm.
experience.
That is
That's
agree.
true.
true.
I love that. I really love what you just said. Task before apps. It's so good.
No, it's
Sometimes.
true. No, because teachers forget because
Mhm.
you're so stuck using a tool or an app
Mhm.
that you
Yeah.
really really want to use or really really want to try out. But then we forget, is it pedagogically sound? Like, what
Yeah.
is the
Mm.
objective here? What's the learning? So I think we
Yes.
should always have that at the back of our minds, always thinking about what's the best way. So
Mm.
Mhm.
sometimes substitution and augmentation is not bad. So you
Yes,
know,
that's true.
Yes.
I
it's a
keep
starting point.
That's right. I mean, I keep telling people that, like, as much as I really love the summer model, very recently I've just been advocating taking a more holistic view at all of these things, and I've actually just been applying TPAC as a model for technology integration, because I think it's a lot more holistic for many people who have been teaching for years but have not been using technology. I keep telling them that a key element here is your pedagogical knowledge and your content knowledge. So technology is just a part of that. So
Mm-mm.
don't
That's
think about it as the be all of things,
Right. Yeah.
pedagogy first.
No, I think as well we keep on forgetting, like, because it's a ladder, we always think,
Mhm.
oh, I have to go to the next step. I have to go
Right,
to
right.
modification. And it's actually, no, I need to take a step down
Yeah.
and or go back to S, and then maybe I can do an M. So I think I think we forget
Uh-huh.
that the next step is always the better option, but it's not, because you can always go back, and it's, it's like a cycle. So the arrow goes both ways. So the ladder
Yeah,
as well, also goes both ways. So if you need
that's
to
right.
substitute, go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
Yeah.
I love that. I love
Yes.
that. I love what you
Right?
said. Sometimes you just got to take a
Yes.
step back sometimes
Yeah,
and then actually get that feedback, see reflect on that and say, okay, maybe I'm
absolutely.
okay. I'm good here, but then maybe later on it's like, okay, let's move up that step again. And like you said,
Overachievers.
I think the most important thing here too, like you said, as far as that ladder is concerned, is we're continually learning. We're in the
Yes,
business of learning. We're learners
Absolutely.
first because we're
Yeah.
teaching learners. So we need to learn to know when to take that step back and reflect and then just say, okay, now I can move forward. I love that, Lisa. That was awesome. I like that a lot. That ladder
Yes.
example.
because
That's
We
true
it
have
took
because
me. Go ahead, Riza.
no, what I want to say is that that's true. If you want to step back if it's needed, because your students will feel that. If you're not
Yeah.
comfortable with technology, your students will feel that, and they will be confused as to why you're using that when you yourself even is not comfortable or can't even guide them. So if
right.
substitution is the way, go for it, and then prepare yourself to go to augmentation if you're confident, but don't stay in your comfort zone too, because that's going to be difficult as well, staying in your comfort zone without taking a risk. So I think it's a balance of both, making that choice of, okay, I think it's better to be substitution here, and then okay, I'm ready for the augmentation. I want to go for it. Something like that. But before you can take that step, sometimes you need somebody to, push you. You can do it. Something
Yes.
like that. So you have to have
Yes.
your own group of teachers where you can just say, hey, I want to do this. Is it okay? So something that could
Mhm.
validate what you're planning or could help you improve on it. Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
That's
almost
correct.
feel, that going up to the redefinition stage is really all about reach. It's like, you know how it is when you're in a classroom, in a traditional classroom, where you're closed in the four walls of the classroom and you're basically boxed in there. And redefinition, when you get to that stage, it's really all about opening up opportunities for your students and for yourself as well. Opening up the classroom in so many different ways that it increases reach of your classroom. So I feel like a lot of teachers who have been using redefinition in some of their activities or some of their lessons, you find that the reach is very high. Like a classroom that
Mm,
is able to connect with another classroom in a different country to do a mystery hangout,
yes.
for example, just to
Yes.
do a geography lesson. Doing a geography lesson, doing mystery hangouts by guessing
Yes.
from what school this school is coming from, and this is a great exercise, definitely a redefinition exercise for some classrooms, and it expands, that reach, expands the ability of teachers to deliver content and to form those, connections. That's what I notice most about going through these levels. It's really reach more than anything. Fonts, it's
Mm,
10xing.
Yeah.
It's like 10xing your lessons, right?
Yes. Yeah, sometimes I mean sometimes it's okay. You got to do that 10x moonshot, and knowing
Yeah.
that maybe you got to think big, but sometimes it's like okay, maybe I went too big, and let me
Mhm.
just come back a little
Yeah.
bit, reel it
Pull
back
back.
They can
Yeah.
in,
be
and
over.
then
Yeah.
all right, let's move forward from there because it's going to serve as a learning experience. And I think that
That's
Absolutely.
true.
something that Lisa touched on earlier too, that when you say like it's okay to be vulnerable and say, hey, I don't know, and as educators, we
mm,
also have to say, you know what, maybe that wasn't the right choice, or maybe the right plan, but it's okay. I learned from that. Let me take it back and then let me attempt it this way. And you just go
yes.
from there. But I think that
That's true.
these models like SAMR and TPAC are just great models to learn and to look into
Mhm.
as educators. And believe it or not, like we mentioned, it's things that are many of us have done without sometimes even knowing what that framework was called, but it's
Yes.
just a natural progression. And
Yeah.
but it's definitely good to look into these and to help our pedagogical practice and how to integrate technology effectively.
Yeah, I love
That's
that.
true.
It almost feels like an advice already, Fonz, because that's my last question for today. Is what
Oh, there you
advice
go.
can you give about engagement? Actually, so if a teacher is struggling to use technology to engage their students in ODL and hybrid classrooms, like what advice can you give these teachers who are currently struggling? I feel like it's meeting fatigue more often than not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
I would
makes you a little
say
brain
I would just say
dead.
don't give up, don't get
Yeah.
frustrated, and on your own time when you can, just get clicky with it. I always tell them, get clicky with it, figure out what those platforms do, what they can't do, and like you said, take it in stride, keeping it
Mhm.
simple, and it's okay to ask for help. I mean, right now,
Yes.
I think that's one of the things that we need to set aside. Sometimes we need to set our pride aside and thinking like, we are
Yes.
that we should be the know-it-alls. We're not. We're only human. We don't know everything. And a lot of times we learn
Mm.
from our students, and it's okay to learn from your students too as well. And but
Yeah.
yeah,
Yes.
just don't give up, keep going with it, get clicky with it, and it's okay to ask for help.
Agreed.
Yeah. That's mhm.
Agree.
Ask for I know you got these people right here. So if you're in the same space as them, then you can ask all of us here. Extremely helpful. One of the things that I really love about my PLN, and as Fonz lovingly says, is PLF, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Your
Yeah. PLF.
Yeah, my
family, right?
professional
Learning
learning
family.
family.
Learning
Right.
family.
So one of the things that I love about Twitter is that so many people are so helpful. So if you
Yes.
encounter any problem, just jump onto Twitter, and there's so many people who are willing to help you. You can find your
Yes.
Right.
tribe. So that's, I think, my advice. If you're struggling with technology, talk to somebody. Reach out to your professional learning network. Go to social media and ask your question
Yes.
there, and definitely somebody's gonna
Absolutely.
jump in and give you really great advice. You know,
Yep.
there.
Agreed.
That's true. But it has to start with a teacher. So they have to be open, because if you're just going to wait for someone to tell you this is how to do it, that's not gonna work. If you're just going to be just in your own space, it's okay to, be clicky, something like that, because that will make you comfortable with technology. But you have to be open to the possibilities, because if you're not, then you're limiting yourself, and then you're limiting your students as well. So
Yes,
that's it
Yeah,
for me.
that is true.
that's true.
Like for me, on the other hand, is the same as what Mary said. Jump on social media. I am a CISA
Yes.
ambassador as well as Riza, and we actually have our own Facebook group. And you can see there, these are
Yes.
seasoned, seesaw users, and they
Teachers.
still ask
Yes.
questions. And so that is
Yes.
really humbling. I mean, that if
Yeah,
that doesn't encourage you, I don't know what else will encourage you to ask the
yeah,
question. Like, these are like seasoned seesaw users, and they still ask questions. I'm having trouble with this and that, and they're
Mm.
very open to their vulnerabilities. And don't be afraid
Yes.
to ask the question. I feel
yeah,
is what
Yes.
the next step is if you are struggling. But
yeah.
yeah,
Yes.
yes, exactly, Pilar.
Pilar.
Yes, try new things. Yes,
I said, don't be afraid to try
absolutely.
new. That is true. I
Yes,
mean, don't be afraid.
yeah,
Always try, and nothing's gonna happen that will blow up in your face. Don't think about
exactly.
things that way, especially with technology, because it's there for a reason. A lot of the features, especially now, if you see some feature improvements in the apps that you're currently using, they're there for a reason. Those feature improvements are there because people asked for it. More often than not,
Yes,
it's the teachers all over the world that are using those applications that have been giving feedback to these app makers, and telling them, can you just have these features, please? Like even the new Google Meet raise hand feature, for example. Can you
Yes.
please have a
Yes.
raise hand feature, please?
Was
So
able to enjoy that
they're
yesterday.
yeah, you did.
Yeah, we used it as
Um,
well.
for those people who are on enterprise, I do like that they already have the breakout rooms, the Q&A and polling. Um, I've already tried it, so it's kind of really sweet. I love
Yeah.
that. I love that it's
Don't
there
have
But
now.
there's no
enterprise.
turn off raise hand. So if kids would
I
have,
know.
keep tapping on it, and it keeps on
That is
pinging and pinging,
true.
they
That
were
is
so
true. There's
excited
nothing
yesterday.
wrong about raising their hand. And I also
Yes.
noticed that yesterday we jumped on a call where we were the students, and we were raising our hand, and then the host left. The host left, and then we all had our raise hand, icons right there beside our name, and we said like,
Yes.
so who's gonna remove our raising hands? We can remove it ourselves. Yeah, but can it not be removed altogether? And the host is gone. Who's gonna do it now? Like things like that. There are still improvements that can be done, guys. So if you're
Right.
looking for things that could improve on the stuff that you're currently doing, be an asker of questions, like what Lisa said. Be one of those people who would say,
Yes.
okay, I want to give my feedback here. This is not working.
Yeah.
Just give that feedback, right? Chris
Yeah.
is saying
Yeah,
Yes.
they
so.
listen.
Thank you for
Thanks,
jumping into the
Chris.
chat. Thank you. And Chris is saying Flipgrid is good. Also check out the new Screencastify
I
Submit
love
tool.
Flipgrid.
Yes. Yes, I know. There's a Screencastify Submit tool now. So for those
Yes,
of
there
you
is.
Screencastify masters,
Oh,
yes, just go ahead and give that a go, give that a try. By the way, for those of you who have been using Screencastify and you want to go ahead and get a badge, to demonstrate your Screencastify knowledge, there is a free training inside Screencastify, and I think it was done
yes.
by who was the person who did that training? It was the guy who
One
dis
is
does
there was Alice Keeler, and then there's Matt Miller that did one.
Matt Miller, right? Matt
Yeah.
Miller, like
Ditch that
um
textbook.
ditch that textbook. I was gonna say that. That was
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
was in my head. Ditch that textbook. So you can go ahead and go through that training and then take the exam, and then you can get your
Badge.
badge demonstrating that knowledge. But it's nice to go through the training because you'll be able to find more tips and tricks on how to use
Yes.
Screencastify in your classroom, right? So there, I'm looking at the time and it's already 10:29. Super fast. We
Yes.
are
Super
done.
fast.
Super fast. Thank you so much, you guys, for joining again. And thank you, Fonz, for jumping into our live stream. So excited
Hey,
about that.
Yes.
you're welcome. I didn't even expect this, but like I said, it's like I always have hair on point to get ready to join on at any time. So I'm ready to go.
Awesome.
So thank you guys. You
My,
guys are all
my
amazing.
bangs
You
are on
really,
point.
I really appreciate your passion, and I really appreciate your knowledge and just your willingness to share with so many educators. And it's so great because right now there definitely is a need for content like this to help other teachers be at
Yes.
ease and just help them
Agree.
out and just have real talk, real conversation. That sometimes tech
Yes.
doesn't always work. Things may happen, but you just got
Yeah.
to keep going and moving
Yes.
forward. And I think that this chat was very fruitful today for a lot of people, including myself. I just feel so pumped, and thank you, ladies, for that.
Thank you, Fons, for
Thank you.
joining us.
Thank you for joining.
Thank you,
Um,
Pons. Yes.
it's great to have special guests. And again, I'd like to thank Lisa and Riza for always being here and supporting the Weekend Habit hashtag Guru Chat. We are kind
Guru
of,
chat.
the regulars. Thank you for those of you who are there in YouTube as well as on Twitter. Thank you,
Yes.
Mel, for your
Hello.
energy. Mel's energy is just
Pilar.
so super high.
I
Pilar,
love
thank you.
Mel.
Phil, for asking. Thank you as well, and Chris
And
for joining
Phil.
us.
And Phil as well.
Phil,
Yeah,
yes, thank you.
Alrighty,
Yeah.
thank you guys, and have a lovely weekend. And please enjoy your Thanksgiving long weekend next week.
Yes.
Alrighty, bye bye.